like Ludens, items like Leandries. But what I'm actually expecting is not necessarily so much of a focus on traditional mages, although I know Jensen and Abbeddage both play them. But maybe some of these skirmishers like LeBlanc, who benefited from the Ludens buff, for like even Silas, right? Everfrost got cheaper, and Silas is a pick that we know Jensen can play. And I'm sure Abbeddage has it in his arsenal as well. So I'm expecting less of a focus on traditional mages, at least in the first part of the priority in the second pick phase.
I'm just laughing at the cannon.
Yeah, see, I was just thinking, I actually really like that though, because like that is a comfort pick that I feel like Jenkins probably feels really comfortable that he can bring out against anything. So you know what? Why not take it off the table?
How often do you see people stopping to take it off the table and that's when they pop in with it and really bring you for a loop?
Yeah, I think it's also kind of things where it's one of those like back pocket bans. I feel like sometimes you see teams panic and not know what to do. I like when you have like, well, here's a champ we're never gonna play. They might, and they know the situations they're gonna play it. We don't. So here we go. Let's throw it on the table. I think it's just funny to see like, hey, the respect ban for Jenkins Ken, and everyone knows it's still up there.
Yeah. So this is interesting to see 100 Thieves just pick Leona, like look for the hard engage. If you're dealing with an Aphelios who is a mobile, even though he has the benefit of
and we got the
clap
LeBlanc.
back. Okay.
This is the one pick. So the LeBlanc is obviously we've already seen it played here, but this is the one pick that was strong in the LEC this morning. We saw that was the mage that went through because most of the time we actually were seeing picks that we still saw in 11, 12, like the Akali. We saw a lot of Silas this morning too.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting draft though, because a lot of times people don't like playing Leona into Thresh, and the fact that they just picked it there and they're basically saying like, we're just gonna wave clear bot and hopefully we don't get what's slammed too hard and Huhi can roam around the map and make plays happen.
Yeah, I think this is a really hard draft to play for 100 Thieves, personally. One of the things is Tahm Kench is disabled this week, and with Thresh taken away and Tahm Kench not playable, it becomes kind of difficult to play Varus when you have a LeBlanc, a Lee Sin jumping on your head, and a Gangplank ult
Gangplank ult just on you,
constantly. So I think 100 Thieves is the stronger team overall, but I would say from a draft perspective, I think TL's draft is a bit more straightforward to play, whereas 100 Thieves is probably going to be looking more for like playing split map, looking for 1-3-1s, looking for opportunities to engage with the Leona, but I like the TL draft a little bit more.
Some comfort picks coming through, the GP for Jenkins as well. Maybe TL can find something in from that avenue.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, we've seen this is his answer to Gwen, right? This is the thing he thinks he's the most comfortable on going up against the Gwen.
There's a lot of little surprising to see it let through over the cannon, but either way, it's an interesting draft too because the LeBlanc feels like a bit of a free agent to run around the draft.
Yeah.
Well, soon enough, it is time for us to find out whether the thickest of thieves from 100T will be able to take the W, or if Team Liquid will take them by the reins. I'm ready to find out. You are too.
Hello and welcome to the opening game of the day. We are on 11.13. There are new changes and we've got some top dogs here ready to play. 100 Thieves currently in first place. Team Liquid not far behind them. We are the Doug Duo. I am Phreak. That is Azael. How you doing?
Just gotta get in there every time.
Yes.
It's kind of sneaky because you left it to the very end. I'm like, oh, good for you, Phreak. You're showing restraint today.
I did.
But no, you got it in there. I'm excited for this one. Kicking off rivalry weekend here. Team Liquid, 100 Thieves. And as you said, some pretty significant changes, right? Already, we know that the Lost Chapter items, the combines, got cheaper, so that is a buff to the LeBlanc. If you're expecting Shirelius here from Abbeddage, this was an item that did get nerfed.
Yep.
A lot of what people talked about with these Enchanter supports is just, as soon as you complete Shirelius, it's like a whole new game. You're a whole new champion. It is still strong, but it is now 30% flat move speed instead of 60% decaying to 30, which is a pretty significant change there. So we'll have to see just how big of a difference that makes. And I'm also really curious to see what version of the Varus builds that FBI is going to be going today, because I did see a lot of different looks between the different lethality items. I actually saw 3 different lethality mythics coming through.
Also worth noting, probably the 2 best supports in the league. That's what I'd call them, honestly, with CoreJJ and Huhi, the 2 best performing. That is the free preview matchup. So if you have interest in playing support, these are 2 players absolutely worth watching as we get early combat between the players. Jensen does not get Aftershock or Electrocute on Abbeddage just yet. as the Aerie trades back.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting to tune in there for support players watching the Thresh. That is a pick that everyone kind of knows of CoreJJ for and is really frightened of him. You know, when you think of solo queue, this guy is a monster on the Thresh, really well known for it. A pretty exciting one to watch, but I'm going to be interested to see, you know, exactly how 100 Thieves is looking to play this style. You know, is it going to be just poke Varus, looking to soften people up, then pile in with this kind of shielded up and sped up melee on that top side, utilizing the Gwen and the Viego as kind of the main sources of consistent damage? Or if FBI is going to show us something a little bit different here, try to have a bit more consistent damage with his build?
And as the minions get pushed in, level 2 comes first to the TL bot lane, so 100 Thieves have to play to the backside, and yeah, they'll absorb farm. We'll see how well the CS looks for FBI, but did get poked a fair bit. Tactical landed a couple of nice Qs, got some decent damage. Of course, you want to watch in Spanish on Twitch TV/FlyQuest and check that one out, as they've been running a Spanish language co-stream the entire season. Top laner still being pushed in. This is one stat I found very interesting that we saw highlighted in the analyst at the opening of the day. Jenkins has the worst jungle proximity difference of any top laner in the league, meaning he gets ganked more than he gets help to a larger degree than any other top laner in the league. And despite that gigantic difference in pressure, he's 4th in CS difference. He wins his lane with a negative jungle pressure. That is outstanding, and he's going to try to do it here as Closer is coming up behind him.
It absolutely is. Closer with the wraparound, and GP this far up could... Oh, I think he's going to be dead. We'll see.
Orange for the orange, and then run as fast as you can. Good luck against red buff.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah.
Nice. Nicely done.
Gwen's got no hard CC, no follow-up there. Good damage of CoreJJ. Pulls the play after he is out of turret range, but a good set of damage there.
Yeah, I expected somebody to be able to close the gap more effectively, but I guess he had enough of a kind of a gap already between him and Ssumday that he wasn't really taking any damage from the Gwen there. This is always a scary moment, though, when you're actually TPing back in after a gank, and you look at the minimap, there's no vision here, right? This is all enemy vision all down this river. So he has to be very, very careful. If he wants to unfreeze this, the jungle can just be in this brush, and in fact, we know that he is in that brush, so just gotta wait.
Yep, Orange just takes some damage. Ooh, goes back in for the auto, which lets Ssumday almost close back in. But yeah, this is Armao not really able to help cover the lane just yet. At least he was pushing back to him, so Jenkins was able to play to the backside. But yes, a lot of damage dealt, but the numbers are tacking up, right? Here's 2 ganks top lane. Well, as long as he's got 7 CS to farm, he's fine up there.
Absolutely, and he is going to be able to farm that up. The only concern, of course, being, you know, you're getting those resources taxed post-teleport. So if Ssumday is able to fully reset this, which he should be able to, given that it's a very big wave, you push this in, you take your free base, you have TP advantage, and if you can actually get some damage down on that GP, then he can be in trouble. But Jenkins is doing a pretty good job, and with Ssumday out of mana, it does look like the freeze will break. He's just deciding to try to push because it's not a cannon wave. So Jenkins is going to try to actually take a reset of his own. He's going to try to hard shove this wave and force Ssumday's teleport. And we'll see if somebody does want to actually TP and try to hold a freeze himself here, or if he's prioritizing just keeping that TP. Yeah. But it is just going to be him TPing back, trying to tax the resources. So now the roles kind of swap. And it's actually going to be up to Ssumday to try to not allow Jenkins to reset this wave. And that's why Armao is up here. And it kind of becomes this little battle back and forth where Armao knows, all right, Jenkins has no TP. He used all his corrupting potion charges. He needs to reset. So now it's my turn to cover. And this is just smart play back and forth, trying to tax those resources, because if Armao isn't up there, Ssumday can maybe get a freeze, and then Jenkins can be kind of screwed without the teleport. So good cover from the Team Liquid jungler, who I think had a really good week last week. They went 2-1 overall. You can say they did lose kind of their only real tough game, losing to TSM, I believe it was. But looked really good on the Sejuani, and I think just performed well out the gates. And just to give credit all around, I think a lot of that move to top is probably Jenkins saying, hey, by the way, here's what it's going to look like. Please come top lane by this point in time. Like, he's gonna TP to this wave. I need you, and he's indeed there. Yeah, see, here's why I credit the jungler. Because as a top laner, I'm always begging for my jungler to come top. They just never show, Phreak. Well, the one time you didn't show, at least it was the correct play on that one. I think it's hard to gank for a Gangplank when you're Lee Sin. There's no hard to set up. Gwen pressed W, Sonic Wave can't land. So, okay, right amount of pressure given. And we can reset on the game and look at the 100 Thieves side. Ssumday indeed got the later recall. Actually took another one afterwards. So now he's got Amp Tome and a Blasting Wand. So pretty rich there on Gwen. That's feeling good. Despite all of the ganks Closer is sent in, he's still got the same farm as Armao. That's pretty solid. Mid lane's got more CS. Bot lane's a tough one there, as Tactical and CoreJJ got the early push and managed to punish some CS there. Yeah, really good job just kind of shoving it in, utilizing this Aphelios, who does have very solid wave clear here in the early levels. The power of the Thresh making it so that it's difficult to even threaten any sort of an all-in. You know, with the Leona, you're going to get flayed on those engages almost every time, but CoreJJ shouldn't be able to get much of anything here. Abbeddage knows he has the minions in between him and the Thresh, so a little bit of pressure from CoreJJ, just going to be able to help Jensen reset here. Again, that's what this is about, more so than really being able to pull off any sort of kill. They can now move this pressure down or just look for a free recall.
Top laners keep scrapping right now. The wave is near Ssumday's turret. It would bounce back, I believe, to Jenkins eventually, regardless, but wants to obviously not drop CS. You can see it's really not possible to walk up and auto the caster minions over there, so that is gold he is dropping right now as Ssumday's getting farther ahead in this lane. Closer gets rid of a ward, looks towards mid, and hey, you know what? I will just take that 60 gold. I will kill your control wards, we'll feel good about it. Doesn't know if Thresh is there, sees him bot lane finally, goes, okay, Lee Sin's not enough to kill me. We're okay to knock this one down despite the vision difference, no problem. Good damage, and hops back to not take a turret shot.
Yep, just a little bit of pressure. And you can tell Jenkins, or rather Jensen here, doesn't actually expect it to get kills in the lane. He knows he's going to have to play the map. That's why he's brought the teleport instead of the ignite. More to be able to play those side lanes. That's likely where they are going to try to look to get advantages because TL does have quite a strong 1-3-1 actually here. Both GP and LeBlanc do enjoy playing in the side lanes at the later stages of the game, whereas Karma, sure, Karma can answer the side, but that is not where this champion wants to play. You want to be building towards the supportive items, you want to be grouped up, looking for 5v5, and Team Liquid can dissuade you from doing that by pushing out the side lanes, forcing you to respond, and kind of keeping you from actually getting towards what your win condition is.
Fight for the chickens, big stab. Gets a fair bit of him. Good smite there as well, and actually no counter jungle at all for Armao, so it's going to be a solid 2-camp lead for closer right now. Mid pressure obviously also been pretty good for Abbeddage, up about 8 to 10 CS in this lane as he's pushing it down. Jensen again waiting for the later portions of the game where that side lane split push starts to look better. As Jenkins just keeps the push going top side and wants to make sure Lee Sin can keep owning the top river. We know no dragon's been taken yet, but the Herald is available for the taking, and junglers are around that side of the map. Support's walking up as well. Only Aphelios actually left in the bottom lane, so most players heading to this top river. Ulti spent as well. Is going to be some good damage. Will not kill Jenkins. Don't believe he'll be tower diveable. In fact, gets out of the range of the Q. As when the mid laners are fighting, has to respect Huhi and jumps right back out. But now Nautilus Gwen a little bit less strong of the team fighting.
Yep, absolutely, and Gwen is going for the flash this time. It's not the ignite, so it's not all in, kind of on that lane. Also makes it more difficult to actually gank. Armao, though, on a ward here, starting this up. They do have topside pressure. Closer, a little bit slow to move. He's finishing off the Krug, so we'll see if they actually want to commit to this whatsoever. Huhi has roamed up towards mid lane. It is only FBI down in the bot lane, so it looks like 100 Thieves want to poke and prod, but not necessarily commit.
900-point smite. Weak spot plus smite kills instantly. This is free if he gets the timing right. Oh, he lets it go. That's smiteable. It's taken. I think it's a mistake by Armao. He had that on the auto attack, but he kicks him back in the wall. Now the GP ults over the top. Ssumday is here, stunned up by Huhi. Ulti's going to land for only a slow the chase. Then one more hit will kill him. And it's going to be first blood coming through for Abbedage's Karma. Second kill to come through onto Jenkins as well. And so far, so good. 100 Thieves get the objective. They get 2 kills to force the flash out of CoreJJ. But close with the right buffs on the chase. He's going to get number 3. Yes, he will. CoreJJ is down, and now Jensen comes back in, but far too late. And Tactical's here for the 5th one. Why not give him the ace? Flashes back to his side of the map, but he's got to be careful. Why go for the Krugs? Why go for the Gromp? He's in front of Abbeddage, getting some pretty good damage, and actually will not get it. He gives away the 5th kill, and we can see this one coming. And 100 Thieves get absolutely everything.
It's 5 for 0, and FBI never even moved towards the top side. You don't even get the Herald either, and it looked like Armao maybe didn't even have Smite when he was actually doing the Rift Herald there.
Then you're trolling.
And I think that's what happened. We'll have to see on the replay, but when I looked post Rift Herald being killed, he did not have Smite, so I'm not sure if he used it on Closer right afterwards, or we can actually check the cooldown. Yeah, he didn't have it. So that's why he backed up here. But as you say, you shouldn't be committing to the objective when you don't have Smite to secure it. And the worst part about this is that it's a 4v5, right? FBI never even moved, so they lose the objective. They're giving over these kills one by one, and it's just a comedy of errors here for Team Liquid. Tactical even joining in. Everyone is so low. This feels a little bit like desperation, where you're saying, all right, we probably just lost the game here. I need to get something done. I need to get these kills. I need to make something happen. But he just gets tethered up.
3 people.
And as soon as you're in the tether, it's the stun from Viego over the wall. It's Huhi coming in. Insult to injury. Can't even finish off Closer, who had almost no health. And I mean, this game is just almost unwinnable now. Like,
oh my gosh.
Is insane.
I just love that we spent time like, man, Armao was good last week. He lost a game, but like, hey man, he played really well. He starts Herald on Vision without Smite.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even do that.
At the end of the day, it's just one of those situations where I think he didn't think they would contest because they saw FBA down to the bottom side. Yeah. I think it's just like, no, this is our Herald, right? But 100 Thieves looks to try to poke and prod. And Closer had the read that you did. You had it in the call. Hey, this is actually poke the eye, smite it, and it's dead. Yeah. Closer realized that Armao didn't have smite, so all of a sudden everything goes wrong here. And now you're looking at the items. And it's just like all the mythics start to come through. You just look at the top side, you got pieces, you look at this side, everyone has their mythic done. It's like, oh no.
All right, here comes the Herald charge. Remember this? Here, you have the Herald back. It's coming into your turret. There you go. It's on your side of the map, buddy. We still got 3 people, though. Good luck with that one. Not going to get a huge amount done. It will be 3 total plates taken. Not bad. Will not finish the turret here. Looks like they made the call. They don't have the time the next minute to knock down 2 plates otherwise, so just take the money while it's here. Yeah. I like it. I think it's the best call that you could have had based on game state. Top laners keep fighting. And again, the ulti is in. This is going to be really good damage. I believe it has 1 more ult available. Yeah, gets the auto attack, but the flash from Jenkins gets away. Ours not going to land.
And that's that Gwen mythic completed. Picked up kills in those fights and was able to get towards that Riftmaker. Once you get the Riftmaker at a good timing, especially if you're ahead of the pace that the GP is at, it becomes very difficult to actually fight as the GP because you're so reliant on whittling down the Gwen to the point where she can't take the all-in. The Riftmaker gives you enough sustain that poke becomes negligible. And then it's so frightening because you will always lose those extended chase down scenarios.
Yeah, you got to be careful about those. And right now, it is a 3.4 thousand gold lead. They can have Thieves pretty much run any chase down they want. Blue handed over to Jensen as he keeps up in farm. He was down earlier based on the very first few levels of the matchup, but within 4 CS is pretty solid. Yeah, it cheats a little bit. The blue buff is worth 4 CS every time, so Abbeddage's got one itself, so it's still been a fair trade, but they're battling back and forth. Double root comes across, 2 chains. Thresh on the other side of the map, but regardless, they're going to stay alive on they run away. And here we go. 2 chains himself. CoreJJ is here.
Yep. So it is Duskblade, actually, for FBI. Have been seeing different versions. We had in the past being seen Prowler's Claw, obviously for the Armor Pen passive. This is the Haze passive, as well as the little minor invisibility, which can at times be useful if you can get that kill and maybe get to safety. Of course, there are some reveals over, notably the Lee Sin E. And it is going to be Stridebreaker here. So the item has been changed. For champions that are not reliant upon the actual dash, it is stronger. Yeah. For champions who need that dash, for a little bit of surprise factor like a Darius, I think it actually is weaker because you no longer have the little mini dash into a grab. But for someone like Lee Sin, you get up on top of them, it's a greater slow, and it can become more powerful, more difficult to dodge things like that follow-up Q.
Right, the slow is so potent that, Lee Sin E technically is a slow, but it's not a very good one at low ranks, which Jungle Lee Sin keeps at 1 point. If you land Q or you just Warhop Stridebreaker, you can just walk past them to kick them in. Like, you don't need Warhops anymore. You Warhop onto them, press your active, and be like, I'm here, bam, into the team you go. LeBlanc receives her kill. So it is really, really good. We saw in champs like Nocturne get banned. Nocturne, I think, is I will call the strongest champ in the game with the current version of Stridebreaker.
It's insanely good.
It's very, very, very good. And yeah, I think Lee Sin Stridebreaker also very strong as well.
Yeah, the win rate that I had seen on this patch for Nocturne with Stridebreaker was nearing 60%. Like, it's actually just you win every game when you play this champion. So definitely dangerous on this patch. And with some of the other jungle nerfs, I do think we're going to be seeing a lot of Nocturne bans. But exciting to see some of the new mythics here coming through. Viego obviously got some laning nerfs. We did see that he's going to be maybe played more in the jungle as a result. It'll be interesting, to kind of get the reads that these different players do have.
I will say, though, this patch, in my sample size of 1 game in the LCS, actually landed a lot of its goals. Lee Sin's back in the jungle. Viego's back in the jungle. We've got 2 mages in the mid lane. We did it. All right, it's perfect. League of Legends is now perfectly balanced, everybody. But champs have landed in good spots. Slight over-exaggeration, of course, but there's the gold graph. Poor Huhi doesn't get to be ahead of more than 1 person. I don't know if he actually got the share in that mid lane turret crash, but doesn't get to farm more than 27 CS, so only in 9th place.
And worth noting, it's actually a Zhonya's Rush. So this has been some tech that people have been doing from time to time. on the Leona. Generally, if they go Mythic into Zhonya's, I haven't seen as much Zhonya's first. But what this does allow you to do is really just kind of throw yourself into the backline is that hard initiation here. It's a wraparound, though, from Armao. They're looking for Ssumday, but Closer is also up here.
Goes in, gets a bit of a slow. Strybaker was used, but I believe it might have been outside the shell. There we go. The flash ult comes across. Big damage out of GP, and the rest of the bot lane there is Ssumday still picks up one, runs away, finally trades his life back. A kill on the board for Team Liquid, but it was costly. They lost tactical. Nice stun from Leona, might mean a second one. Not going to find the target as a flash. Gets CoreJJ back out, but they are on the chase. Huhi finds the stun. Ult goes wide from FBI, but still 2 kills to 1 the team fight.
Yeah, Ssumday looking really strong. There was the 2v3 initially, and the TL members reinforced first, but he just goes in, gets a kill by himself. Jensen now laying in wait, but they should have been spotted by that sweeper. I do think 100 Thieves has knowledge that someone is in that brush.
Damage on Huhi doesn't mean much through a Karma Shield, and just an easy escape for Jensen. Doesn't give it any of his important cooldowns, and he's not going to be hit back. The game still remains in a pretty rough spot for Team Liquid.
So to get back to the Zhonya's point, I actually think it's really interesting with this sort of team composition. He is the primary engage. Yes, there is potentially Varus ult to follow up or whatever, but he is going to be the guy that goes in, right? And I think that in this case, having Zhonya's rush makes a lot of sense. You throw your body into the backline, you lock someone down, everyone is getting sped up and piling in here by the Karma, and then you just basically use that stasis to buy time for the Viego and for the Gwen, who are going to really pile in on top. Here it is one more time. Armao on the wraparound. The additional kick gets canceled, I think, by the W there. So he actually has to stay inside, then go for that kick flash. He kicks him right back onto tactical. And somebody says, thank you very much. He gets the first hit of the R. The Q flash to redirect onto tactical for the true damage was really nicely done. And as we all know, the Gwen ultimate ramps up in damage with the subsequent uses of the ult, so that last hit from the R is very, very frightening, able to burst down tactical, who hasn't been able to have as much involvement as he wanted. You know, it's been 2 moves towards the top side, resulting in deaths for him. They did have that lane dominance early in the 2v2, but the game became about the skirmishes on the top side, which have not gone well for TL, and as a result, they've been losing all the objectives. They're the only ones to lose towers. They've lost both of the first 2 dragons, so 100 Thieves can look towards a potential Cloud Soul, which I think, by the way, is really, really good for this team. It's a lot of additional move speed to be able to pile in on top of this Aphelios, of this Gangplank. The 10% flat move speed alone is so valuable when you have this kind of buff them up, speed them up, Karma style with these melee champions.
Yeah, anyone who wants to walk really, really cares about the move speed difference, because the dashes don't really get any better, but certainly your 2 feet do. As bot lane turret's going to fall, 100 Thieves, despite summoning the Rift Herald towards mid lane, have gotten the 2 outer turrets first. Keep in mind in this patch, top and bot lane tier 2 are worth about 50% more gold than before the patch, so getting even farther down these lanes can be really valuable. Final shots come in, Ssumday holding on to the 3rd R and forces the flash into Jenkins. Defensive ult, but tower dove, the gold lead, the wallet, just too big, and a TP out to safety.
Yep, he's just gonna run you down at that point, and now completing that second item, the Cosmic Drive there is getting even better towards, you know, the mid game, the earlier stages. Has a little bit worse scaling, but it's going to be really, really strong for that Gwen, and we're already seeing Jenkins getting run over.
Couple of sidesteps. Armao has W back in a second, not going to be killed. So nice try by Huhi, will not land, and we get to look at the next major play. 5,000 the gold lead. Not going to find us done yet.
It's so brutal when you're looking at the itemization as well. You know, we highlighted it when one item was coming through for a lot of these members, and now we're kind of back to that same situation where Gwen is on 2, Viego is on 2, Abbeddage is on 2, and you look over at their opponents, they're not even close to their second item. You know, the gold leads are just resulting in these incompleted items, which are so much more valuable than the sum of the parts. The gold efficiency skyrockets on item completion. And these are some really, really strong builds here, I think, on that 100 Thieves side. I think Ardent Sensor absolutely makes a lot of sense here.
3 auto attackers on your team? Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, going to be really, really tough to deal with. And because Jensen is behind, because the GP is behind, you know, I talked about their ability to go to the side lane and play 1-3-1. But sure, you can go to the side lanes, but when you're actually losing the side lanes, it doesn't really accomplish anything for you. So 100 Thieves are matching, if not winning those side lanes, and are just going to keep showing up for dragons until TL try to force something, try to make something happen.
Well, we'll look for the play. Right now, I think they're going to wait for a second item to be done for Tactical. Looks like he's going towards Hurricane. I would not want to see Rapid Fire Cannon. I think you're so far behind in gold that not optimizing DPS will just, how are you going to win when they just stat check you?
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see whatever it's going to be. One of those, though, likely to be the option. And We get to look at maybe a trap top side, but Jensen not going to take the bait, not going to play too far up. Closer waiting in the wings. Sweeper going to see, okay, he's not there just yet. There's a ward, okay, control ward. Hey, could be around. Someone put that down, obviously. Let's be safe. More aggressive ward control coming across, and now it's time to run away. They're going to find not even the stun as Armao is able to reflexively dash backwards. Jensen gets the wave, keeps his farm up. He's actually now ahead of Abbeddage. So again, good job, Jensen, for getting the farm up. Actually got the most in the game. Kudos there, but everyone else still richer.
Yep, absolutely. And I think to your point, you have to be looking for those optimal situations. Going towards Hurricane, there's 3 melee champions on the enemy team. You're trying to think about what is the ideal fight in which we could come back. It very likely is tactical free firing on 3 melee, getting some really beneficial AoE interactions with his kit, and trying to turn around a fight like that. Because barring that, you're just so far behind as far as the gold goes, as far as the objectives go, that it's going to be incredibly difficult. So do agree, it can be difficult to really go for anything except the kind of optimal DPS style builds when you're really far behind.
Yes, indeed. Jenkins, smart of him, has got the Executioner's Calling, so he is the one kind of being the utility role. It's almost impossible for a support to afford the full Thornmail in time, so really it's going to be on him. Now another bot lane fight coming in, big damage out of Ssumday. Jenkins trying to trade back as the ults come across. The flash to chase down, just walking in as Huhi guarantees the kill in the 2v1.
That's brutal for Jenkins. He's getting crushed in the side lane now. Ssumday so far ahead. TL not even really feeling like they can do anything if they go over there. And part of the problem is the vision is so bad for them, but a nice hook here on the top side.
Good flight into the box. More chains coming down. I don't know how you possibly live through this one. Abbeddage gets taken down. CoreJJ sadly takes the kill, but it's only 150 gold difference, not the most massive thing. But meanwhile, bot lane is under attack. 100 Thieves knew they're going to hit this one the whole time. Third Dragon goes to 100 Thieves.
It is a nice pick. It's something for them on the bot side, but this is the biggest deal. It's the vision right here. You're looking at that kind of a line, and they have no vision in this quadrant whatsoever, on that TL side. And that is why somebody can be pushing up so aggressively, on that tower. They're taking the dragon for free. They do get a kill on top side, and maybe Jensen can knock down this tower. So a little bit of gold going back the way of TL, which is great for them. And they're going to need more of this to really slow down that game, because in the meantime, they got a kill of their own. They got the dragon. They're at Soul Point. And 100 Thieves are dangerously close to really creating an insurmountable lead.
Yep. But TL doing the best they can. They have shrunk the gold lead from approximately 5K to closer to 4. I guess it's more like 4.5, because obviously the kills on top and bottom got traded, but at least it's gone down by 10%. It's still a tough road, obviously. And the clock is ticking. 4 minutes till the Dragon Soul. And the weird thing is, maybe they just have to give it, right? Maybe you just give them the Cloud Soul and you're like, well, if we fight for it, we lose that fight anyway. So our best chance is even later on. Maybe we stab you at Baron or Elder Dragon and you can take the freebies for now.
So it is interesting. We did see Hurricane come through, but it's actually Cosmic Drive for LeBlanc. Not something that I've seen be as popular. Traditionally people are going more for the maximum burst style builds here. CDR, move speed, obviously still valuable. I think especially if you're committing to the side lane, that's where it becomes more powerful. Having additional interactions there, but Ssumday looking for the all-in. Jenkins, you don't win this.
Ult 3 pretty much all landed. Now comes the chase on the Jenkins, but he can't get the rest of the way in. How about Tactical? Does he have the damage? Kites away the Q! Aphelios gets the kill, set up by Jenkins, knocked down by Tactical.
It was the Gale Force. I think he just Gale Forced out of that Q. That was sick from Tactical. I think if that last Q lands, he probably goes down and Jenkins can't come back in to actually kill him. Ssumday, valiant effort to try to fight his way out of that, but Tactical, really calm play. Doesn't actually panic, doesn't use his flash, only the Gale Force to dodge out on that Q. A big move, a big shutdown. Woo! They're gonna get FBI. Now they can potentially start Baron. Try to really force something if they want. We'll see if they're willing to go for it. I think this is the play. Oh, well, never mind. It's not the play.
No, they got a TP coming out. Abbeddage doesn't want to be part of that one.
Yep.
And I wonder, because Closer is alive, that could always be a threat. Looks like they're not willing to go for anything more.
Yeah.
All right, but hey, 2 kills unanswered. They got themselves a turret up in top. They managed to pick up some jungle camps. Not bad.
And the shutdown is the biggest part here, right? Ssumday has been crushing in the side lane. They needed to get something done here. And this looks like one of those fights where Ssumday was just going to fight his way out, but Jenkins flashes out. And then it's all about the Gale Force here. Goes below him, and then Gale Force is above him.
Prediction.
Dodging out on that Q that was so nicely done. No E available for Ssumday to actually reposition there. And that was so big. You've got to get those kind of plays. And they've got a couple picks now in the side lanes, right? They got that one top side. They killed off Abbeddage. Now they punish Ssumday a little bit. This is allowing them to at least try to get some sort of pressure here on the map. The vision line is really focused up on that top side now, 400 Thieves. You can see this kind of line of wards all along here. 400 Thieves, they're very clearly focusing up on that top side, but with the Dragon up in 145, they'll likely move more of their vision now down towards that bottom side, try to prepare for Soul, and that's where we're going to have to see TL really go for something. Either you challenge for the 5v5, you try to win out there, or you try to make some sort of a huge counterplay and take the Baron for themselves, but I mean, they've closed the gold lead over the last 20 or something minutes, right? It was like actually a bigger lead 10 minutes or so in off of that 5-0. So TL has done an admirable job of clawing their way slowly back into this game.
2.8 thousand. Half what it was maybe 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago. And now, can they get the rest of the way over? Because the Cloud Dragon spawns in a minute, and that could be Soul. And that's worth that much, again, easily by itself, so be careful. Top lane going to be starting to be controlled. This looks like 100 Thieves just own that top river. They got a control ward. They can get rid of all the wards that TL have as well.
Yeah, and I like the attempt on the engage there from 100 Thieves. It was a trade of flashes, Huhi for CoreJJ. If you can catch TL when they're split up like that, they have no shot to win the fight. So they saw CoreJJ off to the side. They commit to it. They try to chase him down. And now they are going to be moving down into this bottom quadrant as expected. 30 seconds before the dragon spawns, you clear out vision, you get your wards down, you prepare for this dragon where they were really going to have an advantage, especially when you're considering the TL wants to play side lane so heavily. Getting chased down by the Cloud Soul makes things that much more difficult. But TL are going to try to trade. They're going to try to go for the Baron here. They are starting this up, but 100 Thieves are well aware. And this is tough to pull off because these days, all it really takes is you send Gwen to the dragon by herself, have her solo that dragon, and the other 4 players just bodyguard the Baron. You don't need to send 5 to kill off a Cloud Drake, and that's where TL really starts that to kind of have a lack of answers.
Well, the dragon is alive, and there we go. FBI and Abbeddage going to be hitting it. Ssumday is going to join, and we can see Team Liquid on the minimap. They are not interested in contesting this one. This will be grabbed, no problem. No attempt to steal, no GP ult, nothing. That is Cloud Soul taking 100 Thieves in sub 29 minutes. Ton of move speed, even more when you cast your ultimate. They're going to be zipping around. But now, it's the big objective. It's the harder objectives. You can't realistically solo Elder Dragon on most champions. Closer probably could, to be fair. Baron certainly cannot be. Sorry?
Gwen probably could.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, the vamp from the
Riftmaker
is going to be enough to take it over the edge there as well. So, yeah, that's likely. But it'll be slow.
Yeah,
and they can be stabbed.
Absolutely. You don't really want to try to solo out the Elder Dragon. It's extremely rare that that's a good idea. But I'm going to be interested to see how quickly they will commit towards the Baron, because now I just honestly feel like Jenkins can't go to a side lane. If Gwen is there, I think you have no shot of surviving that. It's not just the 10% flat move speed, but Gwen makes great usage of the actual 30% move speed proc. You're going for this all-in where you're getting chased down, and all of a sudden, you know, the ulti comes out, you're slowed, she gets 30% move speed, has 10% flat, has a resetting dash. There's just no escaping that. As a GP, you will just straight up get dove. So it's going to be really tough, and we're going to have to track how TL plays this out. And for now, they are going to send Jenkins down to bot, but are they going to have someone hover him? Because that's kind of what I'm expecting it'll take, is you need someone down there behind him to try to threaten that 2v1, but that gets difficult.
Armao found out no stun is down because Closer tried to use it on the LeBlanc. That snapped back in time. Spots Huhi cannot kill the ward just yet, though, as bot lane tier 2 drops. Big surge of gold. Again, extra money on top and bottom tier 2. So Ssumday, level 17 right now. Highest in the game. CoreJJ caught with the stun. Where's the stopwatch? And it's time to fight. Tactical has red-white. It does not matter enough, though. And Closer becomes Thresh. Cannot get the kill, though. Runs for his life, but just takes too much damage from Aphelios.
Yeah, he got the hook, but the cleanse was available, and you get the Thresh's items there, so he was actually really squishy. Did end up going down, so it kind of backfired. He could have likely just walked out, but tried to go for the big play. Didn't take into consideration that the cleanse would be there. Tactical just instant cleanse, kills off the enemy jungler, so it ends up actually being a positive trade in that 1-for-1 for TL, because 100 Thieves just couldn't really pile in. Now, though, looking for Tactical, who doesn't have the ulti.
Oh, this could be him dying. He knows, yeah, he has to flash a little bit earlier. If a flash Leona Q comes in, he's just dead. Has to run away, gets slowed. Not going to be chased down the rest of the way, though. As Waveclear comes across, the respawns are back in. Thresh, CoreJJ leaving the base now to rejoin the squad. Infinity Edge, by the way, done for Tactical. No one is going to out-DPS a 3 out of Aphelios. Gold difference be damned. If it's a basic front-to-back team fight, he will kill everybody. So 100 Thieves will have to be the tactical ones themselves.
And Jensen has been spending so much time in that side lane. He's got his death cap. So those big ticket items now coming through. You know, 3 items on both of these guys. Jenkins does have 3 of his own as well, but they're more about the utility. It's the Serpent's Fang. It's obviously the healing debuff there as well. Chem Punk Chain Sword, I think it is. So going to be TPing back into mid. And the Elder is going to be up here in 3 minutes. For now, 100 Thieves still trying to play up towards this Baron, trying to threaten, look for the turn when they do show up, but haven't been able to really close the door on a potential TL comeback in these last 10 minutes.
Bitter damage here. Huhi gonna run back towards his side of the map, and we wait and wait and wait. Red buff comes up pretty soon on TL's side of the map. That'll be a decent power spike. Last 2.5 minutes. That'll be a little bit nice. Elder Dragon spawning, by the way, in 220 itself. So that one's gonna be on the table. And in general, Elder a lot easier and safer to start than Baron is. There's no, you know, long duration debuff it applies to you, but brush camping, gotta be careful. Ssumday has teammates nearby, burns the W, but now a catch. CoreJJ in the front line's gonna run back for his life. Huhi burns the stopwatch. They get a pull, they get a kill. Viego is down. Huhi forced to flash away. Armao, though, running for his life. Gwen on the attack, gets the trade kill. 1 for 1 so far. A trade jungler for jungler. No smites now available. TL gotta run away. Ssumday is in.
No flag.
On. Big damage tactical, but Lantern to safety. Stopwatch now used. Barrow comes across, hits onto 3. Cutting back yet again. 100 Thieves able to get back out, but Jensen jumps in, ignites. Shield comes in time. They don't get the kill from FBI, so his Q's not going to land on anyone useful. And out they go, but Jensen gets the second kill to win the team fight for Team Liquid.
Oh my god, TL's positioning was so good there, forcing 100 Thieves to actually funnel through this choke towards Tactical on the Aphelios, cleaving them down, and now they are on the Baron here. 100 Thieves, I think they are aware. They do have TP for Ssumday, and CoreJJ almost dead, so they will have to call it off. He's TPing in deep. He wants to go for a flank, but I don't think they can really look for it. The rest of his team is backing off, so it will just be to kind of check and clear out vision.
Jensen gets Q. R, some damage. That'll get sustained mostly back up. Not going to matter too much. We wait and push for the next time. But now the gold remains. 2.6K, and that's with a 5-1 turret score.
Yeah, here it is one more time. They know CoreJJ is somewhat split. They do go in for him. The stopwatch there, you know, buying time for Huhi, but look at Tactical's positioning. No one can really get to him. He's just kind of sitting here in the back line, free-firing. Ssumday sections off Armao, pushes it on him, does take him out, so, you know, getting something back for himself was critical. But then again, you know, Tactical utilizing the Gale Force there, kiting back, stopwatch comes through, Lantern comes through. They're really playing this area so well. And now it is TL on the Baron here. And no TP for Ssumday. He's so far away.
Gonna slow him down. Closer can ult smite in. No, it's gonna be taken way too fast, but he's gonna go right around the wall and leave. Baron for Team Liquid. How much can they get? The flay is early. It does not stop Huhi. Hits a spell shield for the hook. Not gonna matter there either, but look at all the damage coming across. It's gonna shut down the LeBlanc. A great snipe by FBI. Does the engaging for the team. Finds a second now as well. They've shut down the top laners. The souls for TL are gone. CoreJJ almost next. Yes, indeed. These people are going to drop and fast. Armao runs back to his turret, but how about the rest? Tactical tries his best, runs back out, gets a Lantern to stay safe. Only 2 kills picked up. It is TL keeping the rest of them alive. And with Baron, can they now hold the base?
That was a critical ultimate, though, from FBI, locking down Jensen. He doesn't have any form of stasis here. So when he gets tagged by that ulti, he was just gone. And off the back of that, they're going to be able to grab the Elder Dragon here. So TL finally getting a foothold in this game. They got the Baron, but they die on the exit. And it means giving over the most powerful buff in the game to their opponents here, who have great ways to apply it. The poke Varus, really, really deadly with this Elder Dragon, and we'll see what 100 Thieves can get done. How quickly can they push here? You know, the Elder Dragon buff is actually going to be up for even longer than the Baron, so they really want to get out on the map, be active here, and try to get some inhibitors.
All right. Split push keeps on going. Death cap, I gotta believe, is what's coming up last for Ssumday. He'll wait till he has the 2,400 gold to finish the entire item, but that'll obviously be a huge power spike. Serpent's Fang now in for FBI. Break the shields. Thresh with a locket. Certainly provides plenty of those. Lee Sin the same.
And Abbeddage just got his death cap. So big items are coming through on both sides. The QSS on top of the cleanse now for tactical, so he's really not going to be able to be locked down. His flash has come back up here too. Jensen has huge damage potential, but is still not going for any sort of stasis. No stopwatch in his inventory. So if you can catch him, you can kill him, and he's got to be safe. He's still pushing up on that top side. He has no TP, so they're just going to give up the first inhibitor, and the question becomes, does 100 Thieves go for the end? And it looks like they're pushing forward for that. Jensen will base.
Barrel chain. Can you kill the wave? Because yes, now you're in the 5-on-5. Elder Dragon makes this fight tough for sure, but a barrel chain clear most of it. A little bit of poke, not going to mean a lot for Jensen now as they keep pushing on forward. First barrel is killed, does not hit the minions. Cannon minion is still there, and they're going to keep the push going. Q's going to land, another barrel, sniped, well done. But without Baron on the 100 Thieves side, those minions still die too fast. 0 turret damage dealt.
And this is why it's great that Jensen actually shoved out those side lanes, because they pushed up mid lane, they take the inhibitor for free, and then it's like, well, now what? They have Baron buff. You can't actually siege the Nexus. The wave will just be cleared out.
Yep.
GP can one-shot your wave, and none of your side waves are prepped. I mean, they're up here sieging, but look at the minimap. The wave is back here. The wave is over here. They know they're not in any sort of threat, so TL has no reason to actually exit the base.
Yep.
100 Thieves are saying, we got to get something done. We've got this Elder for 30 more seconds, but the waves were not prepped.
2 on
TL
mid.
shoved it out.
They're waiting out the Baron, so they're going to go for the last round on mid lane. They get one wave of this where they have Elder and there's no Baron, so that's the play. They say, let's go for broke here. Can we get Nexus Towers? Pretty good ult comes out. GP the same, and that means they can nuke the minion wave from orbit, in some cases quite literally. So a combo bolts come together, and the last of Elder Dragon will be survived.
That is so smart.
Yeah.
You don't need to fight, so use the ulti for the wave, right? They have no intention of fighting into the Elder Dragon, so they use the Aphelios ulti, they use the GP ulti, and they say, yeah, if you want to take this 5v5 with us under our Nexus turrets, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
And they know that 100 Thieves can't get it, so that is just such a good job by TL, playing those side lanes, messing up the ability for 100 Thieves to actually push in and take a second inhibitor, which is really more towards lethal damage. The one inhibit at this point of the game is not that big of a deal. They have more than enough wave clear to actually shove that out constantly. And TL have just refused to say die. Ssumday got this Cloud Soul. He had been dominating the side lane, but it's just been about grouping for 100 Thieves since then. He really hasn't been able to find any of those extended 1v1s, so the Cloud Soul has just not really been beneficial in the way that they're playing the game. They haven't really found those extended fights. They haven't really found those rotations where they're making use of the move speed.
Yeah, it may have, just to like devil's advocate, maybe that second kill was because they had the move speed to chase down after Baron, and like maybe that's why they got Elder. You could conceive it. Regardless, I agree. They're not, completely running over the game just because of the Dragon Soul. That part I totally agree with you about, and we've just kept this lead. 4,500. It's been, between 3 and 5 for 20 minutes, I think, at this point.
The goal just doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
I really think it's pretty much irrelevant. When you're this close, this late, it's execution, right? You have 4.5 items here for the Aphelios. Death Clap plus 4 items here for the LeBlanc. Even the GPU has been picked on constantly, has 4 items. So it's just down to how you play out that team fight, how you execute.
So far, TL holding on pretty well. Execution going to be what we're looking for sure, as Tactical finishes his 4th major item. Bloodthirster's in, had a QSS a little bit earlier, so 2 cleanses on the kit. Banshee's in, no Zonias for Jensen.
Really interesting, we get the Anathema's chains here. Anathema, I believe it is.
Anathema's chains.
Coming through from the Thresh, so interesting to see who he actually paired with. I'm not certain, I didn't spot exactly who he actually paired with. Because it is a poke Varus, it might not actually be him. It could be someone like Closer or Ssumday. Of course, when you do pair with one of these people, it takes a minute to channel, but then they do 30% less damage specifically to you, and they also have reduced tenacity. So if you think Ssumday is going to be a big problem in the front line, you reduce his tenacity, you have longer CC duration against him, and he has more of a difficult time actually focusing you down. So an interesting choice here in the late game, 40 minutes in. I think it's pretty clever.
It is clever, so here we go. 4.5k, Baron up right now, Elder Dragon in 1 minute, and TL feels safe to leave their base, but Tactical takes his first cleanse. That's on cooldown. QSS, the shorter cooldown. Jensen walks up. Can't find the target just yet. That's okay. Jenkins, barrel chain across the wall. Decent damage. FBI dropped by a third. That's the one you really mostly care about. GPO puts him to half now as well as they run away. They sidestep the ulti there as well. The chains will not find the route. And now 100 Thieves can use that move speed to run away faster, to stay at half health and now be pushed away from the mid lane.
FBI just has very little sustain right now. You know, he was autoing on that crab, but he's going to have to base because he got chunked down to half. So TL do get control here. You know when you're sitting at half HP there and Jensen is on the hunt with this death cap on LeBlanc, he can look
He calls her
to
in.
take you out, and TL have the damage to threaten a potential Baron. The Elder's about to spawn here as well, so it looks like they want to play towards this. There are some TP wards for somebody to look for a flank potentially behind them, but it is going to be TL with control over mid and moving into this very, very quickly.
Mid inhib is back up, so that one is not going to get any passive pressure. Huhi walks up with the shield on. Barrel's going to hit Ssumday, not much else. CoreJJ taking a little bit there as well as, again, Jensen goes in for the poke, comes right back out, but it's TL hemmed out of the river. It's 100 Thieves who own the territory. Sure, there's Blast Plant, sure, there's Lee Sin. Sidestep for the stun. Flashing over the wall is CoreJJ. Lands his teammate to safety, but the re-engage and goodbye Tactical. The dive has been found, and TL do not have the damage left. Just start counting the kills. 2 for 1 so far. Ssumday has been traded, but how does TL do anything anymore? They've got a jungle and 2 solo lanes. Closer is in. Jensen's about to be out. Armao's gonna run for his life. LeBlanc kites back, still chopped down. 4v2 on the map. Inhibitor has no turret in the mid lane. Elder and Baron are both available.
They're just going to go straight for mid lane here, I assume. I don't think you actually need to take the pit stop for the Elder. We'll see if they think that they can end here. Armao's desperately trying to clear out this wave as fast as possible. Jenkins, you are dead, my friend.
Also, and this will prevent the game from ending. There's no way you push down mid with the wave gone, so they do give away a 4th kill, but it means, tragically so, it's still going to mean Elder Dragon and probably Baron as well afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, you take the Elder, then they can't really fight you at the Baron either. Likely too risky for Armao to even go for a steal. He is trying to put himself in a position where maybe he can look for a steal over the wall. He's back in the opponent's jungle here. 100 Thieves are not going to waste their time. They win that team fight on the bot side. They take down the Elder. The Baron should be theirs as well. Armao did recall. And when you look back at that fight, it was all about how TL got split up. Tactical was sectioned off, he got lanterned over the wall, but Ssumday was zoning the rest of his team off away from him. So 100 Thieves just pile in. They don't care about the QSS, they don't care about the cleanse, and Armao, you are in trouble.
Running for his life, gets to safety for now, but Ssumday's on the chase. Ulti 3, burn. Oh, he doesn't have Elder. He's the one who died, so he has to run at it himself to finish the job. Baron is claimed, jungler claimed as well, and now we start all over again. Several minutes of double global buffs and no jungler 50 seconds.
And critically, this time they have the Baron. Last time they had the Elder, but their opponents had the Baron, right? So they use that to try to stall it out. So we can watch this one more time. And TL just gets sectioned off here. They see Tactical. CoreJJ is able to get over the wall, lantern flash, but look at Armao, look at Jensen, look where Jenkins is as well. None of these guys can really get in at all. Ssumday goes over the wall and is just solo zoning 3 members, shoving them out while the melee squad, the goon squad here, piles in on top of Tactical and takes him out. And that is just such smart team fighting from Ssumday, denying the ability to 5v5 correctly, to have the right positioning, the right setup that you really need for Aphelios to succeed. And now they got that Baron buff, going to be hard to clear out this wave.
10 seconds on Armao. They're going to try to wait for that one. GPO going to knock down some of the minions, but the turrets are already under fire. First, they're going to drop soon. They found the dive, though. They found the kill. Aphelios has dropped yet again. Tactical has no summoners. Double kill for Ssumday inside of the fountain, basically. 3 are dead, and so is Team Liquid's Nexus. 100 Thieves started strong and ended strong.
What a game from 100 Thieves there. Really nicely played in the 5v5. Ssumday, an incredible performance early in the side lanes, in the late game team fighting. Really good stuff from him as well. TL going to be really kicking themselves, though, for that top side fight early on. They were playing from such a disadvantage very early on in this game. 100 Thieves capitalized on their mistakes. Closer steals away that early Rift Herald when Armao's doing it without the smite. They get 5 kills. That got them to the soul. That got them so many advantage. And 100 Thieves really do deserve the credit for that, but it's just not a play that TL needed to go for. And they fought valiantly from a significant disadvantage for so long. I mean, this is a 40-plus minute game. it looked like it was over at 10
9-minute
minutes.
ace.
Yeah.
So, hey, credit to TL for what they did right. You know, chagrin to them for what they did wrong. Absolutely. 100 Thieves, I am curious, because I'm almost certain we're going to talk to someone about that game. Like, hey, so you had like a 5K gold lead at 12 minutes or whatever. Why did it last another 28?
Yeah.
And I'm curious if it's like, oh, well, we thought we had late game, so it was whatever. Like, we just want to make sure we crossed our T's, dot our I's, and didn't give anything up. Or if it's like, well, yeah, we should have played it more aggressively because it got close. I am curious kind of what they think.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, my read is that Jensen did a good job on the side lane, and they actually struggled to deal with the LeBlanc. You know, he was constantly pressuring out in the side lane. I don't think Jensen actually got killed in the side lane a single time the whole game.
Yeah.
So he was constantly pushing out the waves. I think that made it difficult to play. And to me, it felt like 100 Thieves made the call that they were kind of getting outscaled. They needed to 5v5 with their power now, look for those fights. And in a sense, it maybe slowed down the game a bit because Ssumday was dominant in the 1v1. Post Cloud Soul, he never really committed to that split push. And it felt like they were creating so many advantages there. So, you know, maybe the Viego and the Gwen and the Karma are feeling, hey, there's a little bit of a time limit here. You know, we need to group and do something. But definitely interesting. Ssumday was the player of the game.
Yeah.
I think rightfully so. You know, had a really, really good game. But I do think, if I'm being critical, maybe they could have just committed more to that split push because he was already winning pre-Soul, and I just don't see how GP escapes when he has that Cloud Soul.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was like somehow LeBlanc could race it better because she's ranged. She can just, and you don't want Karma there. So yeah, again, we'll get questions and answers from them as well. For now, we're going to step away. On the other side, though, the stay from Analyst Desk will be breaking